Sundress,
What up?
Hello.
thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, on this nice Sunday evening. You guys have been doing very, very well. I've heard so many good things, and I've seen so many good things as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I have one question, and I might be inept at looking through social media. Do you guys have recorded music out?
No.
So
We're
we're working on it.
We're working
Okay.
on it.
We're working on it.
That's a sensitive question for us.
So, because you guys been, how long have you guys been playing shows for Sundress?
Since
Year and a
January
half?
of last year. Yeah.
January of last
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I remember I was talking with you because I wanted to get your original band, Petaluna, band I met you in, Petaluna, to play in the
Yeah.
show. But I think you guys were, the singer was moving on or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you were saying like, oh, we have this like new project called like Sundress that we're working on right now.
Yeah.
And then you were like, maybe we could try and play a show, but I'm not 100% sure. And I was like, I don't want to put any pressure on you.
Yeah.
You know, like take your time and everything. And then you guys just like blew up, we're doing your thing. And I was like, that is so awesome to see. Because I just like, I've talked to Gobo about you guys. Gobo's talked to me about you guys. And you guys are just like genuine, kind people in the Vancouver music scene.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you so much.
And again, it's just like very appreciative to have those type of people like in bands that are doing well in the music scene. So tell me about how you guys formed.
Oh no! I love this story.
Yeah, I love the story.
So, it kind of started from Petaluna because we, as Petaluna, we were kind of slowing down on shows, slowing down on kind of moving, just because of like health issues and within the band and just like life happens. So I kind of wanted to start, for a while I've been wanting to start something a little bit more straightforward and something just a different avenue of songwriting and also play more shows. So I've been like concocting this thing that became Sundress. And then as I was like kind of like figuring out, I figured the name, I kind of figured out what kind of sound I kind of wanted to do. And I was trying to like, okay, who would be able to play? And while I had this feeling, Zoe, who's bassist of Petaluna as well, they came up to me and said, I want to join another band because I want to play more shows. And I was like, actually, I want to start a new band. And this like, it was like very like,
It just worked perfectly.
it was like the exact timing. It was like this perfect like, oh, well, I love you as a bassist, and we already like work so
I
well
think
together.
Shai and I were just feeling the same itch at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
wanting to make more music and play more music.
Yeah. Well, I was always just like, I'm just gonna join something. And I was like, well, I want to start like because I started Petaluna, so I was like, it made sense for me, made sense for Zoe, and it's like, okay, let's try this together. And then I was like in the middle of like trying to figure out like other members. Like I didn't want to sing. I didn't think Zoe wanted to sing, but we needed a vocalist. And Sai, I met actually like a block down from here. We were it was at a tattoo shop called Svitura. Shout out Svitura. It's a very cool tattoo
shout
shop.
out.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so it was like a art show party, and there was like the after party at the studio. Drinks were being had. I believe the wine Josh was being poured quite a lot.
Basically, the owner of Svatura is my friend. We
Yeah.
both worked at Adrenaline together.
Yeah.
And I came and she was super drunk.
Yeah.
And she was like, no one else is drunk. And I was like, I got you. So I just like empty stomach started chugging a bunch of wine like a dumbass.
Hell yeah.
And then
I was there as well. I
yes.
wasn't. I was. I had a few drinks, but I wasn't drunk.
yeah, Shia was there, and someone else was there that we know, and I was super drunk and found out that they had just joined a band, and I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to be in a band.
Yeah.
Like, I want to sing. And I had no idea Shia was a musician.
No, you did. 'Cause
No, I didn't.
You came up to me and she said, "I heard you play music." I was like,
That's like such a general statement.
I was like, because like, why would you approach me like and talk?
I
With me?
was talking to Bunny.
But you didn't have a band at that time.
Yeah, Bunny had Attic Noise then.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was talking to Bunny about the fact that because I actually told Bunny that like I play the drums too. So and I knew that Bunny was looking for a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And then like originally I was like, you know, like, yeah, maybe I'd play the drums one day. And then, anyways, yeah, I ended up having this whole moment where I was like, I really want to be in a band, and I was really, really drunk and like not very coherent. And Shia was there.
It was a very, I'm sure you've had this conversation with people too, who they hear you play music, they hear you in a band, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I can be in a band too. I can sing, I can play triangle, I can whatever. And it's a
Yeah.
very like common conversation I've had with a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially when they're drunk. Like
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
say whatever. And
Definitely.
for whatever reason, Sai seems more genuine about it.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
seems something about it. It was the same
Aw.
exact word for conversation, but it was like something about Sai, the way that she said it and how earnest I guess it was.
Yeah.
It felt more like it's not real. So the next morning or the next afternoon, whatever, I DM'd Sai. I was like, was that real or was that just drunk talk?
Yeah, actually, like, so Bunny messaged being like, were you serious about being in a band? And I was like, yes, but honestly, like, I want to be a singer. Like, I
Yeah.
think I would be better off. Like, I don't want to drum in front of anyone.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, you know, like, Shia, like, is starting a new band. Can I send him your info? And I was like, oh my God, yeah.
Mhm.
And then, like, yeah, Shia messaged me, and I sent him a bunch of my covers, which originally, like, I grew up listening to alternative and punk music, but I really only did like R&B, indie,
Yeah.
pop covers.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm teaching myself how to scream. I'm not there yet, but
Yeah.
like, this is what I have. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if you like it.
Yeah, it was cool because like I liked that it wasn't like a rock singer or a like just what you typically would find in a person trying to be in a band.
Mhm.
Because I like the eclecticness of like adding something that isn't generally like the same thing. You know what I mean? And it's also a different kind of perspective
Mhm.
on types of music. And I like the way we write music is kind of we kind of like coalesce into bring our ideas to the table. And Sai has a different point of view of me. Like everyone has different points of view, but especially because Sai comes to a different like musical world.
Mhm.
So it's a different kind of like takes us places where we weren't. Maybe if I wrote a riff, like I wouldn't imagine this kind of styling of vocals or this kind of like melody to go on top of it. But because Sai goes this other world, she's getting something that she is not used to singing over top of, and then it'll be this new thing that like we're now exists. That
So you guys are able to like work together based on your different influences. And I'm so sorry, but I totally forgot to say, if you guys can introduce yourselves by name and what you
Oh
play
my
in the
God,
band.
right,
So,
right.
I'm just excited to talk to you
Don't
guys.
just-
So yeah. So we'll start down here and go down there.
We'll cut that in. Our name, what we do in the band.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm Shia. I play guitar in Sundress.
I'm Sai, and I am the lead singer.
I'm Zoe, and I play bass.
And I'm Gray, and I play drums.
So walk me through a bit about how a Sundress song is written. Is there do you guys all collaborate on lyrics? Does someone bring an idea? Do you guys jam out first? How does that kind of go about?
Kind of a mixture of all three. It starts with someone bringing something, be it like an idea, so it could just be like a song that starts really quiet and gets emotional at the end. It could just be like maybe even just like lyrics that you have, or sometimes Sai will send like a voice memo of something that she's come up with, and then we'll sort of write on top of that, which is really new for me and Shia. Because in Petaluna it was always music first and then lyrics and top line on top, so it's been really cool to kind of like reverse work that, kind of like with what Shai was saying about working off of like things you might not usually, and then from there, like the idea that someone brings, we all sort of just add our own parts and just jam it out, like no structure, until we're like, oh, what if I did this at this part? And even sometimes like accidents, like we'll be playing and then suddenly stop. It'll be like, oh, that stop there sounded really good, and we'll like keep that in.
So it's always at the mixture. It's like it's kind of like there's kind of a like I guess different like types of songs. Like one, as I mentioned, like Sai will send a voice memo, and I'll play something on top and just see if it works, and then we'll jam it out. Or I have a riff or a few riffs or an idea of like a either a song structure or like a feeling, or just like I want this to be this kind of like, I don't know, like a soft fluttery thing, then it becomes a big crescendo, something like that. Very
General vibe.
general vibe.
Yeah.
We start with like a very just like broad thing, and we bring it to the space, and we just kind of hash it out, you know.
It's
Just
usually
try and get it to feel right, and then we can kind of start working on the
It's like
specifics
process
of
of
it.
elimination. You guys start adding
Yeah.
a bunch of things and then take
Like
things out.
I liked this, but we jammed it the second time, and this thing didn't work. So let's not really do that again.
Yeah.
You know?
And something I want to say, like the way that, especially if it's of a riff of mine, sometimes it would just be like we're at the practice space, whatever, and then I just start playing, and then Gray will just join in, Zoe will join in, Sai might join in, and it's just like we just start playing. And I've said this before, but I feel like the way we play together is very we lock in very well, and we can read each other just like without words or even looking at each other. A lot of times, just listening, and we just kind of know where each other are going, even if it's something not super like something you'd expect or something not super structured. We know where things are going to go, kind of, and then we kind of just play off it. And even if someone might try something in this usually like 5-6 minute jam on this like couple riffs, and then just kind of switch in and out, and it's just no structure. We haven't talked about it at all, and we're just like. And then it starts building, and someone will hopefully press record on their voice note.
Yeah. Were you recording?
Yeah, I try and
Sai, when she's like sees us just randomly like go into a jam, will like pull out her like phone and like voice memo secretly, and then after we're done that and we're like, that was cool. I wish we recorded that. And Sai's like, I recorded it.
They're like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and it's cool because like we'll even when sometimes when I'll have like kind of like an idea of like what a song should be from the beginning to the end. I'll be at home jamming by myself, and then when Gray, Zoe, and Sai join in, it becomes something else almost every time. It's like oh, it had the core idea is there still, but like the way that I imagined it or the way that it's kind of going or what it wants to be is totally not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like me as a songwriter. I'm only one person, and I only have my perspective, which pulls from a lot of different places, but they're very unique people. So like having them kind of add their taste or their ideas or their just intuition on top of that, just like and like I said, our intuition like locks in really, really well, and it kind of like complements each other, even if they're not the same. They complement each other though, often. And that's what I kind of like about the songwriting process, and how like if you're watching our shows and soon to be listened to online, our songs kind of go a lot of different places. Each song like will have every part is very different, and I try to tell a story through just sound without lyrics, and then the lyrics on top of that is like a further point of that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that we achieve that pretty well, I think, and we're able to do that through our unique perspectives and just like the way we play together. Yeah.
Yeah. From what I've like interpreted, from what I've heard of your guys' music, like it sounds very emotive, but also very intentional with the way the songs present themselves. Because I always think when a song comes to be, there's always like a hidden songwriter in there, which is like the song itself, which starts to like take its own form and just kind of decide where it wants to go with the intuitions of all the people who are collaborating on it.
Shia and I, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Shia, well, we've all talked before about how we, like literally and figuratively, are like instruments for the song to take form. Like we are just sort of vessels for it to work through, and that what we play is like in service of whatever is like being created, rather than like writing a part of our own, if that makes sense. It's sort of just like we're able to apply our parts in a way that it feels like the song calls for.
Yeah, it's about serving the song, right? We're not trying to like show off. You know, when I'm writing my drum parts, I'm not thinking about how I'm gonna draw more attention to myself. Thinking about what is really gonna fit well in the song. Which is why a lot of my parts, I'm not going crazy with the fills and everything. I'm just kind of...
He can.
Yeah, whatever. You're just kind of keeping it bare bones to support the song.
Yeah.
Right. That's, to me, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say that like I try to employ like egoless songwriting and playing. Like we might have like a part where one of us shines more or whatever, but that's what the song calls for. But the way that I see music, and Zoe mentioned this too, like we're interpreting music as it is, because music sound exists without us. Without here, whether we're here or not, music exists, sound exists, and we're just funneling it through our own little filter. And I don't think that we are creating we're not creating the art itself. The art exists. We're just filtering it through our own lens. And if once we add like our own ego, like once we add like we want to make this good because we want to look good, or we want to be the best blank whatever, that art dies there and it becomes more about us. It goes less about the art, more about the person. And I don't like that at all. I think a lot of all my like favorite bands that have fallen apart, that's what it seems like happen. Someone gets an ego, someone needs to like be the star, and then the art suffers. Sure, they
This is really deep.
He's so well spoken.
Wow.
And I try to make sure that when a song comes together, we're just vessels for sound. That's all we are. We're merchants that deal sound. That's all. And we don't create sound. We don't create music as much as we interpret it. That's all it is. And and the uniqueness comes through our own little filter, because all of our experiences are very different. Together, it's even more unique. But it's a unique filter, not the creation of art itself.
Yeah. I definitely align with what you're saying there, because the way I've heard it described before is that like there's a certain frequency where like songs exist already, and we merely just capture those moments and try to filter them out into something that aligns with what the song is serving, so to speak. Did you guys go into the project with a genre in mind, or a genre you wanted to align with, or was it more like, here's everyone's influences, we're gonna mash them together and see what comes out of it?
I think originally you wanted it to be more hardcore, right? And then I wasn't ready to scream yet, right? So but I don't think we have like a specific genre.
I think we made a playlist that we threw our inspirations into, but I don't think any of us had an idea of what we would sound like until we were like making the music, and then a cohesive sound sort of just
came out of it. Yeah.
Is that what that playlist was for?
I was just adding songs.
adding Steely Dan.
I was like, oh, they're gonna love this one.
That kind of is, though. That's
There you go.
like,
There you go.
things
The
like
Shrek soundtrack in there.
Well, I mean, there's some weird stuff on there. Like,
Definitely.
yeah.
I haven't looked at that in a while.
there's this when I first decided, when I was concocting Sundress, I was still in Petaluna, and Petaluna was very much very shoegazy, very like ethereal, and that was still going pretty strongly at the time. And then I wanted something that I could do something harder, because the way the band was going, it didn't make sense to like suddenly throw in a hardcore song. So it didn't make sense, or even a punk song. It didn't really make that much sense. And I was like writing that kind of stuff on my own, and I was like, I need some kind of outlet. So Sundress initially was like, I'm gonna do a heavy band with this. This is my outlet for heavy bands. And then when Sundress was kind of fading, when Petaluna was sort of fading, I saw, Sundress can just be my normal outlet, just whatever I want. And we kind of like let the eccentricities and the eclecticness of ourselves just play out, and we don't limit ourselves like, oh, this is too much, this is too heavy, this is too soft, this is too indie, this is too folky. We don't allow ourselves, we just like, do we like it? Is it good? And do we want to perform this? And and every song, like a lot of our songs have elements of like different genres within the song. And that's kind of what I like it, and we try to make it like oh, we're doing this to be like, to kind of like show off, like, oh, we can go from genre to genre. It's just how we feel, and like, oh, it'll be really interesting, and like, and for ourselves, and to hear it, like, oh, that actually meshes really well, despite it being such a the dichotomy is like very, very, very just different, and the juxtaposition of two things does not necessarily mean that it doesn't fit. It just means that you're confronting an audience to listen to these things next to each other, and it's up to us to be able to let it blend, because again, sound is sound. Genre is a made up concept. And we just like, it's up to us as like musicians to make sure that it's a seamless experience that isn't jarring in a way that we don't want it to be.
And get people off their feet in a way where that's like uncomfortable, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So it sounds like, and again, like, I don't want to speak to your experience because it's yours, but it sounded like Sundress initially had the idea as a response to kind of feeling like your current project was like more packaged into one thing.
Yeah.
And then as it started to fade out, it became like, well, this can be whatever it ends up being with everyone's sort of influence on it. Is that kind of like a fair interpretation of it?
I think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about like the lyrics behind the music. Like, is there any overarching themes that come up in the lyrics? Is it mostly personal experience? How does it kind of come about?
Shia and I write most of the lyrics. It first started off with like Shia bringing poetry, and then me kind of turning that into lyrics. And then there are some songs that like, just Shia wrote or just I wrote.
We also, even when it's just one of us, like it's our song, like to say,
people
like,
can,
we contribute to each other.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Sai and I especially bounce off each other, because if the line's not working, we kind of word it differently, or a verse or whatever. But
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll throw a word or two in there.
Oh yeah. And that word will be very impactful. But a lot of our songs, actually, if you listen to the lyrics, which I know we don't have music out, but it is personal, and it's also about things happening in the world. Like, we have quite a few songs about, trigger warning, but about abuse and SA, and we have songs about genocide. We have songs about what's going on in the world, because we think it needs to be talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like you guys kind of pull from kind of any bucket that serves the song, so to speak, and what serves you guys as writers.
I like to say that, or at least the way I like to write is like we write things that are impactful in some sort of way, whether it be personal or global. But I think that whether it be as broad as war or genocide, or as personal as mental health, everything is personal, and everything is it's something like, as long as you write it in a way that it becomes personal, that's what it is. Every song becomes about you, or holding a mirror to yourself, or holding a mirror to the rest of the world, and you can see yourself in it. It doesn't matter what it's about, as broad or as little or as small as the lyrics may be. We try to just like make sure that the lyrics are impactful and have some sort of meaning in some sort of way. And people have like despite us not having music out and only seeing us live, like people know the lyrics of a few of our songs, or ask what they mean, or what they are, what we're saying here or there. And yeah, it's it's nice to see that in the noise of a live room where the sound isn't always crystal clear, especially on the vocal front, people are understanding and getting it. So it's really nice.
Why do you guys think it's important for like music, and maybe specifically lyrics, to touch on things like genocide and things happening? Like, why is it important to you guys that your lyrics touch on that stuff?
Well, music is inherently political. We've always said that. I mean, even when we formed the band, the first thing I said to Zoe and Shia was like, listen, I'm a really political person. I have been all of my life. That's probably going to come out in this. And they were like, good.
Yeah.
Good. We want that.
Yeah.
And the reason it's important is because, like, I mean, how do you not talk about it? How do you just live life and not acknowledge the atrocities that are going on in the world? It needs to be acknowledged. I mean, it's the least that we can do, just to even we don't have much time to speak about it on stage. But even with the little time we have, we try to at least touch on some kind of topic. And if we can do that through our music, then we're getting a conversation going. And we think that's important because no movement has been created by silence. You know, we've been convinced that the bad guys are always going to win, but that's just not the truth. We've achieved rights and things through political movements, through people coming together, through community. And if we can find any way to communicate that, whether that be just my speaking or through some lyrics and some notes, then I think it's necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that, or I personally feel that there is like a little bit of responsibility that comes with having a platform, especially with the shows we're playing now, to speak up about these things. And that, well, one of my favorite things about like Sundress and the success that we've gotten is getting to like be able to just generate money for a fundraiser. If like whether it be community care, like something for a friend, or what's going on in Gaza, like we're able to put on a show and just like people will pay money to come see us, and we can like put that towards something to make like genuine real change. And we've played a lot of fundraisers since we've started, and the fact that like we have the privilege to just like put on a show and make money for something is actually just so incredible. And I think that we do have some sort of responsibility to do that for our community, and then also just to raise awareness about what's going on, like the very real things that are going on.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Charity shows. As you guys know, all of our Champions of Hope shows are raising money for a specific cause. But again, I think like music and making a difference go hand in hand, right? And when people come together is when real change happens. And that's kind of how Champions of Hope was formed, was because like I thought there was a bit of a missed opportunity to like divert some funds, go to important like causes that are making people's lives, you know, inherently better with what they're doing, right? But yeah, I think it's extremely important for you guys to use that platform to speak about these things, because you never know when someone's going through something, right? And can connect with you on that level. But more importantly too, like there's a lot of silence going on around the world about the horrible things that are happening.
We actually have a song called 666, which is I think the first song I wrote for the band. I wrote it before Sundress existed.
We jammed it with Petaluna briefly, like one time.
And then I wrote the lyrics before the band was totally confirmed. And the song is about people being silent during atrocities and being just
bystanders.
Bystanders, and
like apathy,
and it's like an apathy, but almost even an enjoyment, like using world issues as entertainment, or a topic to talk about, or whatever. And that the lyrics, specifically that song 666, are about silence and just not talking about these things and not noticing them. So it's just interesting that it's come full circle now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Tell me about the name Sundress. Why Sundress? As many of us have, like I've gone through a lot of tough times in my life, and sometimes when you experience trauma or just a very, very tough moment in your life, there are things that you don't quite remember about the interaction. So, for example, you had an abusive parent or something, and they are you remember this when you're a kid, that you remember them yelling at you, and you don't remember why or what the conversation was or what you did to evoke that language, but you remember something about where you are, or at least I do. I'll remember like there was like a doll on the table, just kind of with its head tilted in a certain way, and I remember that more than what the situation was that caused me to have this interaction or like this trauma. And so there's a time in life where I had this bad time, and I don't remember even what
I was feeling or what was going on, but I remember a dress that was being hung on a closet door, and that's all I remember about it. But I remember like feeling this dread around me, but all I remember is the sundress. And so throughout the years after that image continued to pop through my mind, and I kind of use it as a symbol of like remembering like a falling apart memory, and just and doesn't necessarily mean to be a bad memory, just a memory that where even when you lose all of the tangible things, you remember a single piece, and that's what the sundress is. And for example, I lost my father when I was very young, and around the time when I devised sundress, I started thinking I forgot what his laugh sounded like. Something that as a kid I remember I would hear so often, and to not remember what it sounded like was devastating, because I don't remember recording or anything of it at all. And so, but the things I do remember are like the exact color of his jacket that he wear every day, the exact stain, exactly how it looked like. But I remember that, but I don't remember what he sounded like. Which is, so to me, so Sundress was this like a vehicle for memory, for dealing with the things in life while you age and your memory starts fading a little bit, and details start falling apart. There are certain things that will stick with you forever, and that's what Sundress is to me.
Interesting. Yeah.
I just thought it sounded cool. I'm learning things today too. Holy crap! I had no idea.
Yeah. So like, and it does sound. That's also I like. I really can.
It does sound cool too.
Yeah.
But
I do remember you saying, and sorry to interrupt, but you were saying that because of that instance where you had a falling memory that you couldn't quite place, that like other people, when they hear or see a sundress, they get brought back to a memory and a time in their life as well. And it's not necessarily that it has to be bad, but it can come with so many different emotions, and it can invoke that feeling, which I really like. I think that's cool. Yeah.
It's like the remains of a memory, like the kind of the bones that are left over after all the meat has been. Yeah.
Exactly. And also what kind of came out of it too, like when we started, some of that, I guess an unintentional thing that came out of it became kind of like a Rorschach test, where people would come to us and like, what's your band name? Oh, blah. Oh, Sundress. And then everyone have a different reaction. Especially if they've never heard of us, they'd be like, oh, that's the majority of people that we've told, like they love the name, but they have a different reason why they loved it. Some people would say, oh, that's so nice. It sounds so fluttery. Or more than a few people said, like, that's so sad. What's like it becomes like what feeling does that evoke to you? Like to me, I know why it would make me feel sad, for example, but why did you have that reaction? Like it's a object. It's what about sundress, the word, in no context, not knowing what it sound like even, why does that make you sad? And I liked that word or that name evokes interesting emotions from a lot of different people, and I'm glad that, because that's what it is for me. So, but I didn't expect anyone else to react that way. Why would it? And it's interesting that for some reason that name evokes either a very happy emotion and I've explained to someone who really loved the name and asked for the meaning, and I kind of told a very brief version of the meaning, and they said, "Oh, that's so sad. I thought it was a very happy name. That sounded very fun to me." And then I was like, "Oh no, sorry to burst that bubble." And other people said very, very sad to them.
I don't think I've ever said this, but my first reaction to hearing Sundress is I actually got angry because let me explain. So to me, Sundress is a very stereotypically feminine thing, and I feel like I was always put in little sundresses when I was younger, and a big thing with that was that I was underestimated a lot because of my femininity. And so it actually ended up I don't know, it's really interesting because I feel so empowered on stage, and it's kind of taking back that name or the meaning behind it. Yeah.
There's I guess many reasons for the name. I like that sundresses are a very delicate thing. They're very like flowy. They're usually very colorful or very light. They're supposed to be dresses
Worn
for
in
the
the
sun.
summertime too.
Airy.
Usually very airy, very like.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, just not a lot of fabric.
Yeah.
And I liked how delicate the object was when the sound is, and then our sound can be very, very powerful and like almost like we're tearing it apart or we're making it a strong word because of how we sound, especially how Sai sounds. But Sai can also sound delicate. We can also be delicate. We can also be like all these things that what you expect a sundress to be or what not to be. And also with the femininity thing, I like how feminine it sounds because it is a very feminine dress. And like even masks or men who wear women's clothing would often not elect to wear a sundress because it is so feminine. And I like how feminine it is because I want to have that kind of energy or like without me being a feminine feminine looking or anything. I want a feminine power to us as a group, and I want femininity to be the pervasive thing, and without it being delicate and breakable, and you will break us if you push us too hard. I want us to be powerful and but we can be delicate when we want to be in our own terms, but also powerful and like violent in a way, and just whatever we want to be. And we're turning the word into whatever it makes sense to us. And it also goes with the sound too, because like the sound is whatever we want it to be. Just like we're turning a sundress into whatever we want it to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the whole experience of being in a sundress is very vulnerable. You know, like it's not much clothing and like, but the band itself, like I feel very empowered. Like I've never been in a band before and I've never like screamed in front of a bunch of people before. And it genuinely like changed my outlook on life and also femininity, which I like, you know, it's a complex relationship to have with oneself, but it's something that I'm learning to appreciate more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, like similar to Sai, initially I felt like not anger, but like a disconnect, I guess, because I'm someone that presents more masculine as a femme person, and I have like a natural aversion to femininity, but I like love how feminine the name sounds now because I am in the band, Shai is in the band, Gray's in the band, Sai is in the band, and we all get to represent this like very feminine word in a way that is just like us and our music, and something that I think sort of acts against what people might think of when they hear Sundress.
Like contradicts a norm almost,
Yeah.
but without the explicit purpose to contradict it, but just by being the way you guys are being.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Good take, Zoe.
Yeah.
That's why he's the interviewer. So true. You're really good with your words.
So tell me, because I've seen some clips of you guys playing live, and you particularly as the front person have a very big stage presence. Can you tell me about how you approach being on the stage, interacting with the crowd when you're playing live?
Oh, thank you for asking that. Honestly, when we had our first show, I was nervous going up to it. But actually when we started playing on stage, I just like looked around and I was like, I'm just playing with my friends. Like I'm just like feeling a moment with my friends. And then I looked around in the crowd and we had all of our friends in the front row. And I was like, holy shit, I'm just like jamming out with my friends. This is so sick. And I get to connect with
Your
them
first
differently.
time on stage
That
as
was
well?
my very first time on
like,
stage.
holy
Yeah.
And you ate.
Thank you. But thank you. Period. Period T.
Say period.
No.
Okay, well, now it's like now that I've become a lot more comfortable and more confident, like I like engaging with people. I love seeing their reactions. Like people will sing with me, they'll scream with me, they'll headbang with me, and I'm like, you are feeling what I'm feeling, and I think that's so special to be able to share that moment with so many other people, you know. And I'm still at the end of the day just like with my homies, you know what I mean?
It does really feel every time we play on stage, like every single time, no matter if I'm like nervous before shows, which I don't really get anymore. But if it's like something's going on, like I'm having a weird body day or brain day, and I'm like a bit nervous before, like every time we get on, I'm just like having just a good time with
something just clicks.
Something
you know?
just clicks, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually just like playing music, and I like doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm also with my friends, and I like hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So it definitely comes off in your guys' live performance that you guys just love doing it, and you guys are there for the sole purpose because you love doing it, and everything else it's just a byproduct of just loving being able to be up there. You guys mentioned fundraiser shows. I know you had a birthday show that was a fundraiser show that I could not make it to, but tell me about why fundraiser shows are important to you guys, because I think like I know like every band loves playing a fundraiser show, but like I just want to hear from you guys like why it's important to you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Honestly, it's like sort of what Zoe said. Yes, we feel like we have a bit of a responsibility. Also, we come from, it's a bit of a privilege to be able to like have people want to come see us. So if we can use that for something good, I mean, like I don't really care about like making money off of this. If we can like give it to people that need it and we can like come together as a community, I mean, I think that's what's most important. Realizing that you can lean on community and that community is there. Just having an avenue to like actually bring everyone together, I think is really important. I don't know how to word this well. You need to go
worded
now.
that so well, so you're really good at words. Yeah, it's like what we said before. It really is just a privilege to be able to just generate money through something that we love doing. Like it's not even doesn't feel like labor. It's tiring for sure, but we love doing it, and if we can do something that we love and then also raise money for things and help people for causes that we also love, it's just like win-win-win. And
I feel less like I'm obligated to play the fundraiser shows. It's more that I like have the opportunity to do so, right?
Agreed.
So you kind of think, why not? Why not do it? You're raising money for like a cause, whatever it may be, that's good. So I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Hell
absolutely,
yeah, man.
Absolutely. And I love that you said so win-win-win. That's how I think about it all the time, is that if you can like get local bands, get local art vendors, raise money for charity, pay your musicians well, like then it's a win-win-win-win for everyone.
The local scene is like an almost entirely self-sustaining community, and if we're able to keep sustaining it by just playing shows and everyone helping each other out, I think that's way better than begging for funding.
And everyone's coming together and everyone's learning about other bands and seeing like other vendors and beautiful artists and everything. It's like there's so much that you can support. Like, why not do it?
Yeah. I like another like word that I have for is like accessible activism. It's like just not everyone has the ability to like go to a protest or donate extra funds that they have to a specific cause. But some people can give $20 to go to a show and have a portion of that or all of that go to a charity, right? And have a good time, meet some people, see some good music. And it's like, it's accessible for everyone. Do you know what I mean? So tell me a bit about, and this is a purely selfish question, but tell me a bit about how come there's no recorded music out yet?
No.
Basically, it's been kind of tough. Like we've been so busy. Last year was a very busy month for us, or year for us. We were playing, I think we played 42 shows in 1 year, which, and at the beginning it was like the first 2 months, so minus 8 weeks, we only played a couple, and then like in the next 10 months we played probably 38 shows. So that's almost a show a week. And then we had a lot of double shows and a lot of things like that. It was like constant. And then so it was a lot about time. It's a lot about coordinating with the people we're recording with, and like having the studio time to do it. And there's there's been a lot of back and forth between like the types of sound or the layers or the pre-mixes or whatever. And it's just kind of been a slower process, slower than we hoped for, but it is coming along. Like
It is. We're doing it.
We're
like,
really
in the
close.
process. Yeah,
we're
we're close.
really close.
We've been saying that for a while, but we're close.
No, but we're actually close this time.
Close, yeah.
Are you guys working on an EP, album, a single?
I guess like a 3-song demo. Like I think that's what we're working on first. It's just like a few, like the first 3 songs we wrote for the band, pretty much.
Yeah.
And just encapsulates like pretty much all the sounds we do, and just like a very good like sampler of what we are. And so yeah, so I call it a demo. You might call it an EP, but it's 3 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Nice.
yeah.
Also, I will take some heat for this. I have a lot of health issues,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I've been struggling with health issues since I was really, really young, but I wasn't really like, the medical system sucks. And especially as a woman of color, like they brush me off so much. Now I'm 27 and my symptoms are a lot worse. And it's really like taken a toll on me. Like I've had to quit jobs. I've had to drop out of school just to take care of myself. So that has come into play, but they are so understanding. Alhamdulillah, I'm so lucky that they understand that like I struggle sometimes and like I need to focus on my health, and we've been trying to record more consistently now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Size on thin ice, actually.
Right,
Well,
right.
I'm sure everyone who's come to your show is super excited when it does come out, and it'll be well worth the wait. So, I'm trying to think here. 42 shows in 1 year. That is a lot of shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me how you guys were able to even manage that and juggle that. Like, cause, like, I'm in a band too.
Yeah.
Like we've, gone up to play like 6 or 7 shows in 1 month, and I was like, oh my god, that was so much.
That
So
is a lot
like,
of shows.
but like, yeah, 42 shows in like a year. Tell me, like, how you guys were able to manage that. Like, what was kind of the skills you guys used to kind of get through that?
This kind of goes back to why we started the band too, because like part of the reason we started, like, I want to start to play the band, why Zoe wanted to join a band was to play more shows. So at least mine and Zoe's mantra at the very beginning was we need to play more shows. So at the beginning we just like I booked 3 shows, one in January, one in March, and then one in April.
Yeah.
So that if no one liked us and no one wanted to book us, we'd have 3 shows for sure because I booked them.
Yeah.
And I booked with friends that we had in the scene. And then as we started playing, people started asking. And at the beginning, you're like, we want as many shows as possible. So we're like, yes, of course. But then your schedule starts filling up. And then you have friends who who are closer or have an important show. Like, we want you on this bill because it's a fundraiser, or it's our album release and we want you there, or whatever. It's like, then we've already booked these other shows that we just said yes to.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're not going to drop out. We're like, we don't like, we know the stress of like someone dropping out and then having to find a new band. So like, we're not going to do that. So we just booked a bunch of shows that were like here or there about, we don't know the bands, but whatever, we'll play them. And then actual important shows came up and friends started asking for shows, or just like was like a show we really want to do as a venue or a band we want to play with or whatever. And so just like, they just started like stacking like crazy. And we're like, oh my God, we definitely bit more than we bit as much as we could
chewed
chew.
it.
Hey, we did
We did
it,
chew it.
and then
It was a
we
mouthful.
processed that.
Yeah, it was
for
a mouthful.
sure. Yeah.
we were definitely like, it was kind of dripping off our mouth a little bit. But,
Visuals.
We needed a bib.
we managed, and we just did it through like perseverance, just like being
And beer.
and being.
Oh, so much beer,
Yeah.
dude.
It
so
was
much beer.
It was a lot, though, I think, on our bodies and our brains.
Yeah.
Because it's tiring to play a show physically, but it's also very like socially draining. To kind of feel like you're at like a party like twice a week, or like
For a year.
like like all the time,
yeah.
and like talking to all these people, which we love doing, and like it always makes me happy to hear like that you said that we've established ourselves as like very friendly people, which makes me very happy. But sometimes I worry that I've established myself as too friendly of a person that when I need to just do like nonverbal like scroll time,
Yeah.
I'm worried that we like come off cold or something, because
Oh
I
my
know that
God,
that's something
yeah.
that we do like get in our heads
Yeah.
about a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I don't know, we are a very social band. I think it's definitely like a learned thing also, just like becoming more comfortable with like going to shows and talking to people and stuff. But there have been moments where like I've been pretty drained and nonverbal, or I'm in pain and I just like disappear and no one knows where I am and I'm just like outside in a corner by myself. Also, I will say though, like personally, like I know everyone was going through a lot last year, like every single one of us. Me personally, I really needed to throw myself into music because I was SA'd last year, and I feel like doing all those shows is what I needed to get my mind off of it. Like I blew out my voice and I still kept doing shows. Like I wouldn't be able to speak and I kept doing shows. I just needed the escape personally. And I'm really grateful that everyone was like on the same page about that. Yeah.
Because yeah, like having that connection with each other, that ability to like share something that's so important to,
It's really
to
cathartic.
each of you, right? Yeah, it's cathartic, especially when you go through something,
Yeah.
right? That's difficult.
Having the three of them and just the four of us together, just like we supported each other really well. I think that we were all there for each other when we needed it, and even if like we didn't really want to talk about it or whatever, it was more like we keep it to ourselves. We still supported each other as much as we could, and there were very, 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 very little friction or anything. It was just we were just like we said before, like we're friends playing music together, and that's what we want to do. And but just having each other's backs like constantly was very, very nice. And on top of that, having the community at large there, and just like the other bands, the people that come out to shows and everything, that was very,
We've met
very
some
nice.
incredible people that are very important to us.
It's like changed our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really awesome to hear. I think it's a perfect segue. Like, tell me something the Vancouver scene does really well.
Gray, you go first.
What does the Vancouver scene do really well? I think as a whole, all the people, so nice. It's always, and I think I've said this before, when you go to a show, it doesn't feel like you're afraid. Maybe before you walk into the venue you are, but once you're in, everybody's talking to you and being just so nice and kind. And that's something that when I first got into the scene, wasn't expecting at all. Just how nice everybody is. I thought it was going to be a lot of, stuck up, really cool people. And I'm kind of like, I don't really look that cool, man. But they're just, every now and again there's a bad apple or whatever. But just the scene, man, it's so nice and inviting. You never feel out of place, no matter who you are, right?
Yeah.
You could look like Sai, very cool, or you could look like me, very lame, or anybody. Well, compared to me, dude, anybody is.
Gray's just too blonde for the scene, maybe. He sticks out like a sore thumb.
so proud.
Yeah.
I didn't do it today. Maybe I should have. I thought the bright red would be cool.
Hey, the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Anyone else have anything to add that before I?
Go down the line.
Yeah, man. Take this mic over. You're the singer.
Favorite thing about the scene.
It's a hard question.
It's a hard question. I like what I mentioned before, that the scene is self-sustaining. I like how we all come together as a community to keep the community alive. That it's not really about like venues anymore. It's about like the people. Like the scene, quote unquote, is just people. It's just like friendships. It's just music, and that. Like when a venue shuts down, another one opens, the community is just going to be, or the scene is just going to be wherever the community is. And whether it be through things like making posters for other bands or putting on fundraisers for venues to help them pay rent, or things like that. We're putting on organizations like Venue Co-op, keeping the scene alive. Like, everything is done by fans of the music and musicians themselves, and people who run venues like Soundhouse, creating spaces. And I think that there is a very real and tangible passion to keep this community alive, and that's something that I really appreciate about the scene.
Nice.
That was very well said.
Thank you, Sai.
You're welcome. Great, you could use some work. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not responding to anything.
Selfishly, I love how many more like femme-fronted people of color there are, because when I was like a teenager, I didn't really go to a lot of shows, but when I did, just a lot of angry white men everywhere. And I was like, okay, sure,
Like
I
arms
can't really
crossed
relate.
nodders.
Yeah, yeah. Like, they look like, it's kind of like they thought they were from the Arctic Monkeys, and that's kind of like the vibe they had, which I didn't really enjoy when I was younger. But now it's like I got into the scene and I was like, I don't know, I'm so new to this, and it's just like so many cool femmes and so many cool like people of color that are so passionate and so vocal, and they're also like, they're so opinionated, and I love it. I'm like, keep being opinionated, keep talking your shit, you know? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I guess to jump off of what they said, I've talked to a few people coming out to shows a few times. I love how inclusive the scene is, and how, like, yeah, when I was like a teenager, going to local shows is very much just dudes with their arms crossed, and just like, it was very, very intimidating to be in the scene. But then now you look out at shows, especially like metal shows or hardcore shows, like, you see like so many like femmes or queer people and people of color and trans people and very like open and out like queer people, and just like they're, and without any sort of shame or trying to like downplay it, and alongside like cis white guys, like, but they're like in the same room, like
That was that great.
I was gonna say there's so many like queer and alt people that like we now joke about Gray standing out.
Yeah.
but it's also like, I just like, I enjoy that they're all in the same room, and there's
Coexisting,
there's
right?
there's
Enjoying the
coexistence
same thing.
without this animosity or this like division. There's never any division, like especially if there's like a pit or anything, there's no like, when you're at a show or in a pit, you're all the same. There's very, very little division, and if someone falls, you get picked up. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you're like 5'0" or 6'8". You're getting picked up by whoever's around you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter like where you come from, who you are, what you believe. You will be picked up. There are certain beliefs that we do not fuck with, but like Nazism and such like that. But but by and large, they're like, as long as you yourself are also inclusive and you yourself are open and honest, like, you're as welcome as anyone else. Doesn't matter what you look like. And I think just like us, the four of us here, like, kind of like is a testament of that. Just like the way that we are, and like,
Yeah.
We cover a few bases.
yeah,
We sure do.
And it's just like, it's so nice to see that, and so nice to like be in a community where it's just open arms, and like that couldn't exist even like 20 years ago. Like, it's so nice that it exists now.
Oh yeah, you take a picture of a room of a show, you showed it to someone 20 years ago, they'd be like, what the fuck?
What's going on? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's also expression, just the way that, like, especially kids, like expressing themselves at shows, and just seeing them just do what they want to do, like, in the name of music or whatever. Just so nice.
Underage shows always go the hardest. Like, the energy,
it's true.
the craziest energy that we felt at shows is almost always like
All ages shows.
all ages
Oh,
shows,
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still got the
was
spark in their eye.
Really shocking to me is that with you were saying like at metal shows and whatnot, the metal guys are like the nicest people. And I was always
Yes,
like,
yes.
oh my
It's
God,
true.
like, we're playing with this metal band. How are we on this bill? And then you go up and talk to them and they're like just the sweetest. Like the heavier the music, the sweeter the
It's true.
person.
It's true.
The
Crazy.
angrier the music, the sweeter the personality is.
They get all their anger out on stage.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Absolutely.
The bigger the beard, the bigger the heart.
Oh,
So
very
true.
Very true. Okay, tell me something the Vancouver scene could do better.
That we or the scene?
Vancouver scene.
Yeah, okay. No, not me. I went first last time.
We'll go the opposite way.
Reverse line.
I think maybe supporting smaller acts or smaller like artists or whatever it is. They're like the Vancouver doesn't have the most clicky scene, but it's like there is kind of like bands who have like more quote unquote hype or whatever, who people want to see and don't really give the smaller bands a chance.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Yeah.
same kind of
Yeah.
deal, right?
And when I haven't set up a show in a while, but when I do, I try to like make sure that at least two of the bands are smaller to medium sized, so that they get a chance to play with someone who is maybe like has a bigger draw, or like just their audience wouldn't necessarily interact with that band as much. I try to make them sound as cohesive as possible, but I want people to be able to like break through the cliques or the groups that they find themselves in. And it's really easy to fall into them because it starts off as friendships and it becomes a clique because that's who you talk to, and then you become the in group, and a lot of times you don't notice you're becoming that. I try to be anti that as much as possible, and yeah, so like I guess just like Vancouver could do better at just accepting newer things or people who aren't quite your speed, at least from like judging a book by its cover type of thing. So I think that's what we could do better.
So I think Vancouver is like, it's very punk adjacent, punk heavy, and one of the most anti-punk things you can do is clickiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the
Yes.
most anti-punk thing you can do.
or just like do what the other quote unquote punks are doing. Just like
Yeah.
it is like, oh, like you can't like this band because
Yeah.
none of my friends do. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's so anti-punk. To me, like,
Yeah.
okay, like,
Totally.
but anyway, yeah.
Kind of to piggyback off of that, I think there's like I have noticed a little bit of like competitiveness, which I don't personally like. I'm like, why compete? You could have like a bunch of artists putting out amazing music, so you have more amazing music to listen to, So it's kind of like that though. It's like not giving those people a chance, or like thinking lesser of them, maybe subconsciously, but like thinking lesser of them, not giving them a chance. I don't like that. Like we were given a chance, like our first show we played with Warm Belly and Chronic Fatigue, and it was our first show and Attic Noise's first show, and it was really cool because they brought more people that probably wouldn't have ever heard of us until that moment.
We were very, very fortunate to be given a chance the way we
Yeah.
did, and I want to be able to give people like newer bands or bands that just haven't given that shot yet also that chance as
Everyone
much as
deserves
possible.
that chance.
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
I completely agree. And I will say I'm completely opinionated on this topic about what Vancouver could do better because I've seen it from a band perspective and a promoter's perspective. And like I think competitiveness is like, I really, really hate it because I completely believe in a rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
like, everyone needs to
Agreed.
stick together to like, because there's not going to be a shortage of people who like to listen to music.
No.
We're not going to complain about 2K.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so the more people we can platform and lift up, the better it's going to be for the art community, the scene,
Yeah.
smaller bands, like for everything, right?
Yeah. Also, what's the worst that could happen? You have more cool music to listen to.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 100%.
I think some people view the scene as like an organization or like an entity where they have to find a role to play or work their way into like a status or something through either people they know or the shows that they play or the venues that they play, when it should just be like a community that likes music and likes going to shows, not about sort of the value that people can extract from that.
Like it's not a corporate ladder you're going to climb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like we're all here for the same thing, which is just
Yeah.
to like hang out with our friends
We're all
and
just
play
like
music.
tending to a garden,
Yeah.
essentially.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Water the garden together.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And bearing the fruits too. What about you?
man, all the good stuff's being taken.
This is why we want you to go first.
I know. I got to speak on the last one. And
Every time we do an interview, Grace sits at the end of the couch, and then when it gets to him, he's like, "Well, what else left is there to say?"
You had like 8 different answers there. I know. That's all of them. Like,
But when you're first, it's like, oh man, I don't know what to say.
I'm in the best position, I think.
I want to be like second in the line, so I have like something to kind of piggyback off of.
But it sounds like you guys like, you know, have different tastes, different opinions, but you guys are on kind of the same path and mission with what you guys are doing with Sundress. So like, tell me, and this might be a bit of a hard question or a very easy question depending on how you look at it. Let's say all of Sundress's shows, every experience you guys have made with someone else was just like wiped off the face of the earth. What would be the core message you want to leave with people?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
I feel like we're all gonna have really varying answers.
Yeah.
Want to go first?
Oh man.
Oh yeah, you want to go first this
Yeah,
time?
but my thing is like all about the music. Like, if I was like all of everything with Sundress was gone, I'd just be like, keep going to local shows and supporting everybody, and listen to good music. Even if you go to a show, maybe one of the bands isn't your kind of vibe, stick around and watch and just show your support. Every band deserves it. To me, that's
Yeah.
that's my answer.
That's a good answer.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. I would like to leave, I think, just sort of a separation between like performer and audience, and to get rid of that separation. It's all sort of, we're all just people making music or enjoying music, and it makes me really, really happy that people see us as a very like open and friendly band. And I think that if we were to leave one thing behind, it would be to sort of keep that in the scene, just sort of like a pervasive openness and friendliness between everybody, because we're all just like fucking,
We're just
we're just
dudes.
like dudes, we're just like nerds and gamers and losers,
Exactly.
in our own way. And I think, that's my answer. I was at the beach today. I've been in the sun for a minute. Thanks, Greg.
No, that was a really good
As
answer.
you should be. As you should be.
I think I would say keep talking about what matters to you, even if you think no one's listening. Someone is. Someone is listening. Someone is relating to what you're saying, and someone is going to, take that with them in their life and, make a difference either personally or in the world, So keep talking about what matters. Yeah.
For me, the thing that I think Sundress should leave, or I would want Sundress to leave if everything was wiped off the face of the earth, was continue to love yourself and continue to understand that whatever you're going through, no matter how specific or how good or bad it is, someone else is too, and you're not alone in it. And whatever you're feeling, someone else is feeling that same thing. And that there's catharsis out there. You just have to reach for it. And the moment you stop reaching and looking for that catharsis, that's when things are the most bleakest. And even if you are at rock bottom for whoever you may be, search for some way to get it out or have someone relate in some form or another. And so that's what I would want it to be, to love yourself and keep searching.
This is why Shia can't go last, because then
Yeah.
he just like mogs all over.
No, for real.
all had good answers there. That was a good question.
Yeah, that was a really good question.
No, that,
Varying answers.
Yeah.
very answers. Really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Sundress, it's been so nice to talk to all of you.
You as well.
Thanks for having us.
context, when my band first started, we played with Petaluna
Yeah.
at Victory Square. They were the very first band we ever met. You and Zoe are the people I always remember from the Vancouver scene because you
Aw,
guys were
man.
so kind. You guys came to the first Champions of Hope show as
We did,
well.
yeah.
And now you guys are playing at the Mezzanine Anniversary collab show with Champions of Hope on July 10th and 11th, raising money for the Canadian Mental Health Association. Please announce anything you guys want to announce. Where can people find you?
Music is coming out. Probably like end of summer, fall. 3 songs. Find us at sundress.wav on Instagram.
Wav.
WAB, W-A-B
Yeah.
on Instagram.
and-
Stream jars.
Catch us at probably somewhere in the city, in Vancouver, or
So true. Also check out LSS and Strays. Yeah.
yeah.
That's so awesome.
Also jars. Check out jars.
Yeah, true. Memory lanes, it's a banger.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, well, thank you so much. You guys are 10 times sweeter than I even imagined, and I was imagining really, really great things already. So thank you again. We're so excited to have you play on July 10th and 11th. It's going to be a banger. Keep
Banger.
doing your thing, and yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Bye.